Well, hello, my friends. Now, I just picked up this piece of equipment you see here. It is a Paco Model C-20. It is as the title states, a resistance capacity ratio bridge. It does a number of things, but truthfully, I have to be honest with you, this is somewhat antiquated piece of equipment. But I've had my eye on one for a number of years. This one came about rather cheaply, so I picked it up. I, of course, recapped it, calibrated it, and went all through it, and it works quite well. The I will touch on some of the functions that this does. And of course, it reads resistance. In fact, it'll read from zero point 0.5 ohm up to 200 meg. Capacitance, it'll read anywhere from, I believe it was 5 picofarad up to 200 microfarad. And also checks here for leakage of a capacitor. And one could also check and hook up into your external standard here for your ratio setting. And one could check reactance, and one could check turn ratios between transformers. And that's a function I don't see myself using. In fact, I really don't see myself using this a whole lot. It's more of a novelty piece. But the advantage this has, and I'm going to touch on this, is with capacitors. Of course, all of us typically replace all our capacitors, and I'm not alone. I typically recap everything that comes through my shop. But if one does decide to check a capacitor under voltage, that's where this piece of equipment shines. All the handheld devices we utilize for checking capacitor values, those will of course read you the value of the capacitor, but the only way to truly test a capacitor is to test it underneath its rated voltage. And then once again, that's where this Paco will shine. And they have other testers out there that do just what this does, but this just is the one I came across. Just for example, I had a capacitor the other day. In fact, it was one of these black ones you see here. I pulled, these are the ones I actually pulled out of the unit. And I went ahead, after I got this calibrated, I tested these on this unit just to see what they would do. And they were all bad. But just as of interest, I've had 2 of the 4 tested good for value under a 0 voltage condition. But as soon as I brought this voltage up, most of them, when I hit as low as 100 volts, they immediately went high on leakage. When I brought the voltage back down to 0, the value came in, the bridge balanced, and it looked to be a good capacitor. But when I brought the voltage up once again, that capacitor failed. So, word to the wise, if you're going to check capacitors, the only way to truly do it is under a rated voltage condition. So anyway, I didn't want to do a long video, just thought I'd touch on it. A Paco Model C-20. Kind of a neat little piece. Easy restore, and for me at least, enjoyable to play with. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all following, and of course, as always, until next time.